Howdy y'all, it's Aaron here. I hope you are doing well. Ever wondered how to add massive top-line revenue to your clothing store? Well, in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through 3 keys to SMS success for your clothing store. As always, make sure you grab something to take notes with and stick around into the end where I'll be sharing with you some top apps to be using and some really cool copy tactics to increase the conversion rate for you to get more SMS subscribers. All right, so number 1 is compliance. A lot of people think that this is like email, but they are completely different, right? Email and SMS are completely different. SMS has a lot more regulation because of how intimate it is. Don't worry, at the end of this video, we're gonna be walking you through and talking about all the things that will help you still make this extremely profitable outlet. But one thing to think about is that these are the same rules as like phone, and so they really haven't changed the way that the law works. So all the phone rules still apply towards SMS, which is why they're a little bit more strict than something like an email. A few things to be aware of for you. 1, you must get express written permission, which is fairly easy to do and can be done electronically, so don't worry. Number 2, you must have a second message sent to confirm opt-in and should reiterate the details of that person's participation in your campaign. 3rd, timing is crucial. You cannot send messages before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. A few others that may be a no-brainer, but I'll list them here anyway, are no harassing language and no messages about tobacco, hate, or firearms. Anything within that realm, obviously don't send a text message about that. All right, before we cover number 2 and talk about growth, I just wanted to say howdy. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we are an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores grow and scale profitably online. Now, make sure you do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest strategies for clothing stores. We drop new content for you every single week. All right, so number 2 is what type of messages to send and how often. Now, the real question you should be asking yourself is how often can I send an intimate message to my customers without being overbearing? Again, a lot of people compare SMS to email when it comes to sending, but they are completely different. With email, we may suggest 3 to 5 manual campaigns per week, but with SMS, you would only want to send out 1 every week to 10 days. 98% of messages are open by the end of the day, so each message can be very effective, but only if they stay subscribed. So now that we know how often to send messages, let's talk about what to send these customers. Automated messages, flows. The best use here is when someone wants to track their packages. I would also suggest that you send out a message 3 days after the package has been delivered, right? This is on that automated flow to see how the product was delivered, right? Want to see if there's any issues. Basically avoid any type of negative feedback from it, but if they had a good experience, request a selfie of them wearing the item. This is great for your marketing, great UGC, and a personalized experience. It also doesn't seem transactional, so when you send that message, it doesn't really come across as, I want something from you and give me something, right? It allows them to enjoy their full service. The second type of message you want to send are about new collection drops, new releases, and sales. Speaking of drops, make sure that you take your finger over to that like button and drop it down to let YouTube know that you like this video so far. Just for doing that, I'll share you a picture of a baby panda right there. Remember, this is a list typically smaller than your email list, but very effective when it comes to sales, so treat them differently than you do with email. When a collection drops, you could give it a discount or just release it to that list first. Whether it's a day or 6 hours, something here goes a very long way to telling them that they are special. Remember, they did an extra step to give you their phone number because it is so intimate. So make sure you treat them that way. If you treat them the same as what you do everyone else and you just want to blast everyone with the same type of message, it probably will get you a lot of unsubscribes. All right, the third thing to be sending out to these people is surveys. Now, this one doesn't sound as sexy, but I promise you that numbers and data inside of your business is crucial. The more that you know about your customers, the better you can do at marketing to them. Sending over short 1 to 2 question surveys gets questions answered will ultimately make you a lot more money in the long run. So speaking of data, understanding what your data means and where your sales are coming from is so important. Luckily, we found a software called TripleWell that has over 99.7% accurate attribution, which is just a fancy way of saying that we know which ads are actually able to scale or not. But it also tells us if revenue for a customer came in through SMS or email or another advertising platform. All right, so number 3 is growth hacks. We're going to cover some obvious ones and then some not so obvious places to grow. Your pop-up. right? Probably the most obvious place. Make sure that you have an email and SMS pop-up to collect both forms. Two-step is very popular now, so most platforms that you use are going to have the ability to do this. The software we prefer in no particular order are Klaviyo, PostScript, and then Attentive. And there's other ones that are out there. One that's really good for just the opt-in side of things is Optimonk. It is really cool with some of the features that they can do as far as like abandoning cards, abandoning checkouts, that some of the other softwares do not necessarily have, but does not have necessarily an ESP or an email service provider type of feature. So Optimonk, check that out as well. So those are the 4 that we suggest. There's probably a million out there, but those are the main ones. All right, so whenever you're writing out your messages, a couple of things to be aware of. One, you should not ask for email and SMS at the exact same time. One, because it lowers your chances of actually getting an opt-in. But two, as of the time of this recording, I believe that it is becoming more quote unquote illegal to do that because it doesn't have all the fine print or all the information needed to give both pieces of information, so you have to do them separately, which is why two-step is becoming very popular. But a lot of people make the mistake of asking the question like, want to join our email list? Want to join our SMS list? Well, then you make them ask a question, they stop, and then you lose out on actually getting customers to take action. But instead, right, so after you've said like, hey, take 20% off or take 15% off or, you know, whatever that is for your email, the next thing is once it moves to that second page, right, the two-step, put upgrade your experience, get 20%, right? So you just tell them upgrade your experience. And then because you say upgrade your experience, now you are asking them for SMS. So it's like they have a great experience. They're, yeah, I want to upgrade my experience. Then I'll just add the SMS and get something. So I want to share with you guys some examples of good pop-ups. But before we move on to those, I wanted to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing stores. They'll walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what is going on in the world. And to get access to that free training, make sure you check out the link in the description down below. All right, so let me walk you through some examples. All right, so this first example is one that we have used quite a bit as far as our videos, but they do a great job of changing up their pop-ups. So this one is Pink Lily. It's an online clothing store. I believe they do close to $100 million per year. So a great place to look at for you as you look to scale. So the way that they've added their pop-up is unlock an exclusive offer just for you. It's spin the wheel. So for whatever reason right now, the gamification with spinning the wheel has become very popular. So let's go ahead and spin. It's pretty fun. I get to hit this button. Let's see what it looks like on mobile. Do I still get this experience? Cool, I do. 20% is unlocked. Go ahead and blur this out right here. What I'm gonna do, jimmyjames1234@gmail.com. That is my personal email. Do not email me. I'm just playing. jimmyjames1234. I apologize if that's actually somebody's email address. All right, go ahead and click continue, and you unlocked 20% off your order by submitting below. Get 20% off now when you sign up for email and SMS. So interesting, it didn't actually give me a better deal. It didn't do anything. It just says that I get another 20%. So let me do this, 214-237-8777. Get 20% off now. Check your text and reply Y to confirm the subscription, okay? So a couple of things to look at here. One thing that I did like was that the gamification, but the second thing was that if I gave my email, it didn't like really incentivize me to do SMS. It was just kind of like, wait, did I get it or did I not get it? And then the other good thing though too is that they're telling me like, hey, make sure to check my phone and hit Y to accept. So they told me the next steps to do that. And then they had a picture that was relevant at the time for the type of clothing that they're selling. So a couple of good things, but the one thing was that it didn't really feel like I got something special for the SMS is what I did for the email. So email got 20% and then SMS was the exact same thing. I don't know if I got something because I spun a wheel and it was 20%, so it was actually the better deal. And if I would have gotten 15%, SMS would have given me 20. I don't know. But anyway, so that's something to think about is don't ever let your email be a better deal than SMS because then they're just not going to sign up. I did that for the purposes of this video, but that's really not something I would do. All right, so I tried to do one on Madewell. Actually, we may even show a little bit right now of Madewell before we showed this one right now. So Madewell, I browsed around on the page and they didn't have a pop-up, which was very surprising because it's a very large brand for both men and women, both national and international, but they didn't have a pop-up. And I don't know if it was because I didn't stick around on the site long enough, I didn't scroll enough, I don't know exactly what happened. But anyway, it wasn't there. This is another brand that's based out of, I believe, like somewhere in the West Coast, out of Washington. Everything's kind of sustainably made. I think it's from like a high-end material. It's more of like a slow fashion type of brand. It's called Pistol Lake, and we have talked about them before. Really cool. Show up on the site and immediately get a pop-up. And we'll talk about best practices for this here in a second, but immediately gets a pop-up. I'm gonna put in my James email, 123@gmail.com. Let's go here, continue, cool. And then join the SMS club, sign up for SMS clubs and receive early dibs on releases and exclusive deals. So don't really tell me too much, but kind of like a little bit of an incentive. Not really too much, but then put in my phone number, and then the option there is like, no, I don't want text, which that's kind of like the no, I don't want something is good, but the no, I don't want like exclusive deals, or no, I don't want to receive sales early, that's probably better text than no, I don't want to receive text, because that's true. I don't want to receive text. I do want to receive deals. So something for them to make aware of. So let's do this, 9875. Oops, 4, put in the number. Cool, welcome to the club. Thanks for signing up. Your 10% off code is this. And then I can go take 10% off, which is nice. Great photography, good call to actions. It's not super sleek. I feel like there's some better copy that can be done. The image, like I said, the imagery is good, but the copy could use some work. And then I really didn't feel like I was special joining the SMS. It was kind of like they decided, let me throw in SMS because that's what everybody else is telling me to do, versus like I actually have an SMS plan behind this. So think about that as you're trying to create your email to SMS flows. Like, how do I go from making somebody feel great to even better or exclusive by joining my SMS list? And then how can I use verbiage to translate that? So those are some examples, some good, some bad, and some things that you could work on to help you to create some better pop-ups. All right, so a couple of things to consider as you are creating your SMS ecosystem here. So timing your pop-up, make sure that your desktop is on the exit intent, meaning when somebody like grabs their cursor and gets ready to leave that page, that's when the pop-up comes on. If it comes up too soon, what happens is you give a discount to somebody who may have actually already been interested in your product, and then you give a discount to all those people who would have probably paid full price, right? We really don't want to give a discount for the people who are looking to find a discount. We want to find the people, or give the discount to the people who are like just needing that little push to make a decision. I like them for the scroll 60% on mobile before the popping up, and that is an idea. But if you don't have that featured, I would highly suggest that you get put on Google Analytics on your website. As a side note, you should always just have Google Analytics on your website, and then study the time duration that someone stays on the mobile version of that page you want to do a pop-up to come up on. So for example, if it's on your home page and you're looking at Google Analytics and you see that somebody on average stays 1 minute and 10 seconds, then what you would want to do is make sure that your pop-up comes up at 1 minute and 5 seconds. So 5 seconds before that person typically leaves the average duration on mobile, because then it's a great mobile experience. They spent time on your page, then the pop-up comes on and you're not really showing it to everybody, and they actually have enough time to like view your products. It doesn't look like you're trying to have some kind of manipulative situation where you're trying to push them to get some sales. It's more of a, oh, this is a helpful hand to get somebody onto your email list, or to offer them a discount. All right, so another great way to grow your SMS list is through Instagram stories. You can have the info about a great deal on your Instagram story. Then when someone clicks through, they can swipe up, or I guess now is what they do is they click, right, to be taken to the right opt-in page where they're giving you direct permission to be on your list. So instead of having to do all this all the time manually, right, a great way is you can also save this as your main highlight. So the top left for your highlight, just create it and then tell the information of what's happening. People click on a link and then they go to your page. So as you're growing your Instagram account and people are going to your profile, they will see your highlight. Make sure it's a good highlight picture of why they should join that list or what's going on. But then once they join, or once they see your highlight, they can join, and this all happens to you automatically. A great way for you to grow your SMS list while just continuing to grow your Instagram account as well. All All right, so another good way to grow your SMS list is through QR codes. Put these everywhere. Make sure that there is an incentive, but it's a great way to get someone to join your list with little effort. You can put them, actually put these on the packages alongside with a thank you message. And one way to look at it too is that if you have a QR code and they've maybe joined your SMS list, you can say, hey, this QR code is for you to sign up and you get this exclusive deal. If you already are joined and want to share this with a friend and get another discount, you could use this QR code. But both of them are something where you could actually share one to a friend or one to themselves, and that way you don't have to really come up with a QR code that, oh, they've already joined the SMS list and you've quote unquote wasted it, right? How can we get a bonus, or how can we get a share for free? And as a last option, well, not really a last option, the most obvious option, but one you may or may not have remembered or thought about, is to just put it down in your footer, right? A lot of people put the email side of things, but you could do the SMS. Hey, click this link to join our SMS list. This is why. Make sure there's some actual benefit to it. If you're ready to take control of the amount of traffic that you send to your clothing store, then you need to make sure that you watch this video next. And remember, as you send more traffic to your site, that means more people on your SMS list, which means more profit, more revenue in your business. All right, y'all, that is it for this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day.